What I've learned over the past few years is that I measure achievements and success by my experiences and the completion of challenges, and that I live by the belief that if you want it bad enough, you'll be able to achieve it regardless of the obstacles in your way. It hasn't been easy, as it wouldn't be a challenge otherwise. My biggest challenge has been building networks, which when moving into a new community, this is where the Dairy Women's Network has helped me to do that. Yeah. My name is Wendy 26 years old. I'm currently variable order share milking in Ashburton with my husband and our 4-month-old daughter. I never thought that I would ever become a dairy farmer. Definitely my family didn't think either. My family didn't think I was going to be the farmer in the family. I grew while at school in Christchurch. At high school, I met a young man who was working as a taxidermist, and after being together for about 12 months, we decided that we wanted a new challenge, and we wanted to find something new and give something else a go, because taxidermist, his work wasn't really very exciting and I was still at school. So after visiting a friend in a small rural town in North Canterbury, my husband-to-be, he was offered a position on a dairy farm. So he thought he'd give it a go. So he moved up there and I continued high school for the next 2 years, and after that ended up moving to Culverden, and that was to be the start of dairy farming and our life. I spent the next 5 years working off farm in customer service roles, where I became part of a team and continued to develop my personality to what it is today. While working off farm, I set myself some short-term goals. As I grew up in Christchurch, I was a city girl, knew nothing about cows or farm life. So my goals were to learn how to start a motorbike, how to take a set of cups off, and how to shut a gate tape without getting electrocuted. That was a massive accomplishment for me, and obviously it just kept going on from there. I married young. I was married in 2004, just after I turned 21. He's my best friend, my partner, and my business partner, and this has been the beginning of our lifelong partnership. At the age of 24, after many years of saving all our hard-earned pennies, we managed to be able to afford to buy 30 cows, and so what we did was we leased them out and borrowed against them to go variable order share milking in Ashburton to where we are today. So overnight, in 2007 overnight, I became a full-time dairy farm worker, working alongside my husband 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, where my life completely involved around cows. That was a challenge in itself, as I had to balance between our work life, working together all the time, and had to ensure that we had a relationship outside work as well. We actually had a really good time and really enjoyed it, and we still work together now. During this time I studied by correspondence as well through the New Zealand Institute of Management, and completed my certificate in management in 2008. In our first year of share milking, we entered the Share Milker of the Year competition for Canterbury and North Otago. And in the first year we got into the regional finals and were awarded the Dairy NZ First Time Entrant Award. And we also entered the following year and we received the Riverside Vets Animal Health Award. This was a great recognition of our achievements that we had worked so hard for. My next challenge was in October 2009. When we welcomed the arrival of our beautiful daughter Valerie to the family. This has been a great and rewarding challenge, as I've had to learn how not only to be a mum, but how to organise my day to be a farming mum that does paperwork, housework, supports her husband, and a businesswoman as well. We've decided that we are ready for our next challenge, and we are moving from Ashburton back to Culverden on the 1st of June this year, where we will be variable order share milking as well, but we will be going to milk 1,000 cows. So this is the next step in our career. and we're really looking forward to it. The worst year farming was the most challenging year. It ended up being the best year because of what we learnt. We learnt what not to do and how not to do things, but we learnt from that, and so we've changed the way in which we perceive things.
Give me some examples.
To be nice, it's important that people have time off. It's important to have a work and home life balance. It's important that your staff understand the processes and that you don't leave them by themselves, and that you're there to support them.
So, what is the network doing? What is the network doing for you?
Well, when we had our worst year farming, I actually didn't know that the Dairy Women's Network actually existed. It wasn't until 3 years later that I actually came across it, and it was the farm owners. When we moved to Ashburton, the farm owner's wife said, "I'll come along to a meeting," and that's how we got started. And it means that I can talk to other people and I can ring people for advice. We can sit down and have discussions and talk about situations, and if I can help someone else, well then, to keep moving forward, then it's all good. The Dairy Women's Network has helped me to meet people when moving into a new community. It's been very hard moving from Culverden to Ashburton originally, because I knew absolutely no one when we first arrived. I've had met many great women over the nearly 3 years that we've been there. 1st of June we're heading back up to Culverden, and I'm hoping that's going to be the same effect. It has also helped me to meet people and talk about my experiences and how everyone's situation is different, and we've also learned to make the most out of all situations, whether good or bad. As our worst year farming actually turned out to be our best year farming because of the experiences that we learnt. And this is what has made me who I am today. Our ultimate goal for our family is farm ownership. I'm not 100% sure how we will get there, but we will get there because we want it bad enough.